There he is. Kenny
Yes,
B.
sir.
How you
Yeah.
be?
How you doing? How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Had a nice weekend. Watched a lot of football.
Yep.
Watched a lot of upsets.
Yep. The season
Yeah,
is here.
yeah. So I saw your Bay Area brothers did all right.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
49ers.
The
Yeah,
49ers did good. I mean, I because of my schedule, I wasn't able to catch the whole fight, but I caught the most important part, and
yeah,
that was
yeah.
when the 49ers went ahead in the fourth quarter with less than two minutes or so on the clock, and
Yeah,
then Seattle got the ball back and tried to make some magic happen, and the quarterback ended up fumbling the ball, and 49ers went ahead to win the fight,
yeah, yeah,
win the game. Yeah. So
yeah. Well, I was pretty happy that my Raiders,
my
finally
Raiders,
pulled one out.
from the Bay, they my Raiders too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But man, I tell you, it's gonna be a challenging year.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a challenging year,
yeah,
much like this fight that everybody is talking about between Canelo and Crawford. Uh, it's going to be a challenge, depending on. It's going to be a challenge, period,
yeah.
to either one.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is, and
yeah.
I guess a lot of the talk has been, will Canelo or Crawford go 4 rounds?
Well, I've heard that, and frankly, I know that both of these, and let me quote someone that long time ago. He made this comment in reference to a fight that was between Canelo and Lara. He said that in that fight there would be a ton of emotion and pride on the line. And I got to tell you, that's going to be the same thing in this fight. There'll be a ton of emotion and pride on the line for both fighters. And I just don't see an early stoppage in this fight. I really can't. Uh, I think it's going to go. I think it's going to go probably the distance. Because both of these guys highly motivated. Their legacies are going to be much dependent on this fight, and they're going to give it their all. Now, we all know that things happen. you know, anything can happen in a fight, but
Yeah,
I just don't see it. I don't see that 4 minute thing being realistic. I really don't.
yeah. Well, I have said uh, the, the with the hype and everything that has come with this fight, uh, uh, one punch can change everything.
Yes,
And
yes,
being in the ring, as long as we've been in the ring, we've seen it happen time and time again. One punch can change everything. And when people used to ask me when I used to when I was refereeing, who you think is going to win, I never gave them that opinion because I never would set myself up before a fight predicting who I thought won. I would
hmm
just tell them to put it on a scale.
hmm
Put it on a scale. Who's got the quickness? Who's faster? Who uses the jab better? And just put it on a scale. And at the
hmm
end of putting all the dynamics of the fight on the scale, whoever weighs the heaviest, for the most part, could possibly win the fight. Because for me, this is a flip 'em. I mean,
yeah.
heads is Crawford, tails is Canelo. That's how close of a fight it is. But
Yeah.
one punch could change the outcome.
Well, it's. I like to say fights are sometimes they're almost like pizza. They're basically the same,
Yeah,
except for the preparation and the ingredients. The
Yes.
preparation and the ingredients make all the difference and make that pizza significant. And I think that applies to this fight.
Yeah.
The preparation is going to be solid on both parts because they know what's on the line.
Yes.
They know what this is going to mean for their legacy.
Yes.
And you know, a lot has been made of the fact that Crawford wasn't dominant in his last fight. But the bottom line is this: styles make fights. Uh, and when styles do make fights, well, every fight then is different.
Yes.
And you can go back to the history of the game. You know, uh, Tyson versus Holyfield. Holyfield, Tyson was intimidating everybody. Holyfield wasn't intimidated. You
Right.
know, that
Right.
made change in that fight. Same thing with Hagler when he fought Mugabe. You know, and Mugabe was stronger than he thought he was, and he
Yes.
had to make a change, an adjustment mid-fight because it wasn't the guy that he thought was going to be in front of him wasn't in front of him. You
Right.
know,
Right.
Leonard Duran, they made the adjustment from fight to fight. In the first fight, Duran very aggressive. But in the second fight, Leonard made the adjustments he needed to make.
Yes.
Uh, uh, Buster Douglas, when he fought Tyson, sometimes outside things that motivate you can make a big change in a fight.
Yes.
In that fight, Douglas's, I believe his mother had passed, and he dedicated that fight to his mother. And
Yes.
who thought that Buster Douglas would beat Tyson? But he did because of that outside motivation. And then you got the Ali Frazier, you know, they become, after so many fights, they become familiar with each other's styles.
Yeah.
And hey, you know what? They make the changes from fight to fight. So uh, all of those things are ingredients, and you throw
Yes.
them in there along with the preparation, and who knows what's going to happen,
Who knows?
and that's what makes the fight interesting.
Well, you made exactly, and you made a good point when you said Duran Leonard, because in the first fight, Leonard tried to stand toe to toe and fight Duran, which he lost back when fight were 15 rounds, and then in the rematch, Leonard decided to move, stick and move, use the jab, and won the second fight. Uh,
Mhm.
so Leonard was able to go to his toolbox. If plan A don't work, you go to plan B.
Yep.
Then the
Yep.
other fight, you were mentioning several fights in reference to uh, 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 Holyfield not being afraid of Tyson in different scenarios. Moving up in weight, people have made comments about on the fact that Crawford is moving up in weight. And, I did the Canelo Amir Khan fight, and Amir Khan moved up in weight. And for the first 2, 3 rounds, Amir Khan was winning the fight.
Mhm.
He was winning the fight because of his quickness, his speed, his ability to move, but then he got caught.
Mhm. Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
Canelo caught him with the right punch, the fight was over.
Yeah.
So, like you said, there's a lot of factors that factor into this fight as to what can happen.
Yeah.
And
And
personally, I think that both fighters are going to come out and see what each other is planning to bring to the table. I think mid rounds the fight is going to get pretty exciting, and from that point on, the fight can continue to get exciting as long as no one gets caught with a shot. That's
yeah.
going to change the momentum to either fighter, and for the most part, the fight could go the distance.
Well,
So
I see this fight very similar to a fight that I refereed. As a matter of fact, it was a fight between Canelo and Alexander Lara, and there was so much ebb and flow in that fight. Most people thought that Canelo would probably just walk through Alexander Landa, but that didn't happen. There was a lot of ebb and flow in that fight. Lara early, jabbing, moving, thicking, everything. Canelo, however, in the middle rounds, because of that power and stuff and the shots that he was landing, came on. But later in that fight, Lara came back. And
Yeah.
so, frankly, I see that kind of dynamic playing out in this fight. I
Yeah.
see there's going to be some ebbs and flows,
Yeah.
and it's just a question of who's ebbing and who's flowing.
Exactly. Who's getting hit and who's not?
That's it. That's it.
Yes. Yes. Because a lot of people, when it comes to judges being able to score fights, the one of the criteria is ring generalship. Ring generalship can play a very key role as to how one is getting off on his punches, being able to slip punches and move and just basically kind of get into the type of rhythm flow that he chooses to get into.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the factors that often can play a role, play a factor, is if one of them gets cut.
Yes.
If there's a cut, sometimes that can cause a fighter to lose some of their focus.
Yes.
Exactly. And that can definitely have an impact on the fight.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Now, I know I've been reading for the last couple of days. I'm sure you've been reading the same thing. The possibilities of Mike Tyson fighting Floyd Mayweather.
I think Jake Paul and Javante have started something because that's the similarities that I see.
Yes. Yes.
Jake Paul, $199, Javante, maybe 150.
Yes.
That's almost a 40-pound differential in weight.
Yes.
And there's a truism out there that most of the time, a big guy will beat a little guy.
Yes.
And perhaps that's the reason why they're labeling it an exhibition.
Yes.
But even in an exhibition, the people who are watching, while the person who's officiating it is going to officiate it as an exhibition, but the people who are watching, they are going to have an opinion about who won.
Yes. And it's really kind of sad because, we've been around long enough to see way back in the day when Muhammad Ali used to do exhibitions. And we knew that it was all in fun. I think Lyle Alzado was one of the fighters. Lyle Alzado was ex-football player, and he fought Ali. And Lyle Alzado didn't have the skills that Ali had, but for the most part, back then, they put him in the ring. I don't know what their purses were, but it was worth it to Ali to get in there. And we know Ali, he's going to get in and have some fun. It's all about showing your skills and having some fun.
Yeah.
Like you said, today, when you put a mismatch, people don't understand and know that on a regular fight card, when the matchmaker presents the fight card to the executive director of the Nevada or California or Arizona Commission, they look at that the match card or the matchups and decide if it's a worthy fight or not, especially for the fans. And they're not going to let a guy that's 30-0 with 29 knockouts fight a guy that's 12 wins and 12 losses. They just ain't going to let that happen.
Yeah.
But in an exhibition, you can allow anything to happen.
Yeah.
Because
Well, but the one thing for all of our fans out there, we should definitely let them know that even in an exhibition, as a referee, your first and most important thing to do is to ensure the safety of those fighters, even in an exhibition, because yeah, you're kind of flexing somewhat with the rules, but the one thing that you did not sacrifice is fighter safety.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that the folks out there do understand that. Yeah, while it's an exhibition and all that, but the rules of boxing still apply.
Yeah.
And our main focus and motivation is keeping those fighters safe.
Yes.
Sometimes against themselves. You know.
Exactly, and that's why we're here. And our show is it has always been about educating the fans,
Yes.
sharing our knowledge. I got 40 plus, you got 40 plus, and even more than me because you were once an ex-fighter yourself because you fought in the Marine Corps, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So yeah, we're just passing on our knowledge and sharing it with the fans for the sake of educating them so that they'll have a better understanding when they're watching a fight, what they're looking at, and what to look for, when they're watching a contest.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we got our first comment here. Uh, with the Georgia Commission saying that Tank and Jake can't fight due to weight differentials, where do we see us going to fight, and what state or country does Floyd and Tyson fight? And that's a good question because the commissions are the ones who are going to allow, i.e., sanction the fight or not sanction the fight. And I would think that one of the most important things that a commission is going to look at is the same things we look at. How safe is this fight going to be? You know, given the significant weight differential. So I really can't answer that. I don't know what commission will
Yeah.
sanction this fight
Yeah.
because of the significant difference in weight.
Exactly. And Bird, you know as well as I do, because we've done exhibition fights. Sometimes through the height, the fight will go. It's like a regular fight
Yes,
because of the
very
height
much so.
and the trash talking that goes on between the height. And when the fighters get in there, it becomes a little bit more than just an exhibition. They want to duke it out, and with that happening, safety becomes number one.
Yes.
And I understand, like you said, with the commissions questioning if they should sanction it or not. Um, um, will they? Because usually, when you're talking money, and we are talking money, how much revenue is the particular state is going to gain if they do sanction the fight there from people traveling to town, booking hotel rooms, the restaurants will be full of fans needing to eat, and the list just goes on and on.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that, and I agree with you, that money is a significant motivator. Uh, and this is that thing that I always have to try to weigh. You know, fighters for many years have been on the short end of some promotions. Uh, they've been uh, they've been shortchanged by promoters. So if a fighter now is going to be able to significantly enhance their income, okay,
Right.
I can't be against that. You know, the question is how they get there.
Right.
How they get there, and that's something that I wrestle with, because on the one hand, I definitely want fighters to get what they deserve. They're the ones that are stepping through that rope. They're the ones that are risking their lives, okay, and their livelihood. So if they get in and they can make some money, significant money,
Yes.
I'm all for that.
Yes.
If it can be done in a reasonable, safe manner. And
Yeah.
that's where the issue is going to come. And
Right.
that's what the commissions are going to have to weigh.
Yes. They're going to have to weigh it in, because the last thing you want to happen is a fight of that magnitude sanctioned and somebody getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't change the course of time.
Mm-hmm.
When they take a fighter, I mean, the doctors after a contest will get in the ring, examine the fighter, and will decide that that fighter has to go to emergency on the basis of how rough the fight he was just involved in. And if he has to go to emergency, ER, whatever the case may be, you can't take that back.
And you're talking about, and Kenny, you're talking about fighters who are fighting at the same weight. Okay,
Yes.
that happens.
Yes.
How much greater is the risk if
That's my
you
point.
have this significant weight differential?
That's
you know?
my point. Yes. Exactly.
So it's on the one hand, I understand the marketing and all of that. On the safety side, there's some real concerns. There's some real valid concerns, and
Yeah. Go ahead.
and it's going to weigh heavy on some commissions, or on a commission to sanction that fight, given the significant weight differentials of the players.
Yes. So it comes down to insurance and liability. I mean, all this will factor in now, and the other part is the condition of the fighter from fights of this nature. Um, what happens 5-10 years from now?
Yeah.
The long-term effect.
Yeah.
Each fighter is different. So, yeah, it's
Well,
like it's
it's
gonna
going.
be
Like I said, it's really going to be a significant challenge for a commission to sanction this fight, given again the differentials in the weight,
yes,
because it's not like 8 or 10 pounds. It's not even
right,
like 10 or 12 pounds.
right,
And Javante maybe $150. And the last thing I heard was that Paul was kicking in about $199. That's
yeah,
40 pounds. It's a 40-pound differential. And
yeah,
and I know that there are weight differentials built in. They're built in terms of sanctioning fights
yeah,
already. If you're a welterweight, the person can't be more than 8 or 9 pounds above that weight in order for the fight to go on. That's
yeah,
already built in.
yeah,
Those kinds of safeguards are already built in. So basically, if you sanction this fight, okay, then all of those built in safeguards are out the window
Yeah.
because Tyson. There's no way Tyson's gonna come in less than a buck 90. You know,
Right.
and Floyd had trouble making 146 pounds. You
Right.
know, so the similarities between Paul and Javante and Tyson and Floyd are all there because
Yeah.
of the weight differentials. You
Yeah.
know, um, so yeah, it's going to come down to who's going to step out there and sanction the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. You just get to the point to where you just kind of scratch your head because again, um, and like you said earlier, whatever these fighters, we can call them warriors, can make, I have no problems with it
yeah,
because they are the warriors. They're the ones that will stand in the front line and take the bullet before you take the bullet.
hmm yeah,
They are those kind of guys, and like you said, if you can make some extra bucks here or there, whatever the case may be, hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it because,
yeah,
um, yeah, to develop the skills that they develop over the course of time of their career, and be able to go into the ring and defend it, and every 3 months or 5 months, whenever they're in the ring, hey, I have no problem with it. Make as much as you can and as often as you can as you have the time to do so.
yeah, yeah. Now, one of the things that I do want to put out there is that overall, I'm not anti exhibitions. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not anti exhibitions because it's almost like old timer games in basketball. Uh, 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 guys that they're past their prime, uh, but they still have some name recognition. They still have some skills, and they can go out there and do it on a limited basis. You know, uh, so I'm not anti that, and it's an opportunity again for them to get some kind of compensation because basically you're talking about a glorified sparring match.
yeah,
That's what an exhibition is,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and uh, so I'm not against that, but it should make sense. It should make sense, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Uh, you should have people in the same weight classes, or certainly within reasonable weights,
yeah,
maybe 10 pounds over, maybe 12 pounds over. Yeah, I can live with that. But when you start talking about 30 to 40 pounds, and maybe even 50 pounds by fight time,
yeah,
okay, they're going to go, they're going to rehydrate, they're going to eat, okay. So a person like Jake Paul, who runs around the buck 99, fight time might be 215, you
right,
know.
exactly,
Javante, even if he rehydrates and goes and eats a meal, probably won't make buck 60, you know. So you're
yes,
still talking about a significant differential in weight.
yeah,
Uh, so I'm not against exhibitions, not at all.
yeah,
But I am against things that don't make sense, and that doesn't make sense.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you this: we got a little chat that came in of a fan, and I want to thank the fan for sending the chat in. And the chat was said that the chat said from the fan that he is glad that Bird that we're actually doing this show because we have opened his eyes to a lot of things that he didn't know. So that's what this show is all about. And for the fan that sent that chat in, we humbly thank you for
Absolutely, absolutely,
we humbly
absolutely.
thank you. Exactly. Because
Yeah.
again, that's what we want to do is educate.
Because we said right from the beginning that we wanted our show basically to take the fan and bring the fan into the ring with us and
Yeah.
into our mind. We want to actually make the fan a referee. Okay. We want to make them the referee and have them see the fight, see the competition through our eyes. You know,
Yes.
what we
Yes.
see, why we do what we do, and why we do it the way that we do it. Okay,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the better you understand the sport, the better you can appreciate it. And
Yes.
appreciating the sport is really what it's all about.
Yes. And I believe we're out of. I believe we got a caller coming in. Let's see who we got. Caller. Well, I guess we must have lost them. But um, the thing that I wanted to add, and we'll give that caller a chance to come back, is the Crawford Canelo undercard. Um, I, I I don't. The only fighter that I know that's on the undercard is Fernando Vargas's oldest son, Fernando Vargas Jr. And I've met him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've met him, Bird, but I happen to go to Top Rank Gym, and sometimes, which I know you still do, we'll get in the ring and we'll move around, exercise with the fighters while they're sparring. And I've actually been in the ring with Fernando Jr. Matter of fact, all the Fernando's sons, they are good fighters. Matter of fact, the youngest of Fernando's
Yeah, Emiliano. Yeah,
sons had a 50-second or a 50
42 seconds.
42
Yeah,
seconds
42 seconds. First round.
knockout. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah. So
yeah.
so
Well,
anyway,
I agree with you because I've been in the gym with all of them. And the fruit hadn't fallen too far from the tree.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And looks like we got another chat in regards to the Tyson Mayweather and um, the person that sent in the chat apparently appreciates our conversation on this subject. Uh, uh, I've never done a Tyson fight. You've done a Tyson fight, haven't you, Bird?
No, 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 no.
Never done a Tyson.
Because no, because he most of his early his early fights were in Atlantic City and Vegas, and I was at the time still in California.
In California.
So yeah,
Okay.
I didn't get an opportunity to work him.
Right.
Uh,
But we both have done Mayweather, so
Absolutely.
yeah, we both done Mayweather, and we know for us doing high-profile fighters like himself, you get to understand and know what they bring when they step in the ring. Uh,
Yes.
the main thing for us is does he have problem following directions? Does he have bad habits in doing certain things? And when it came to Floyd Mayweather, that was never an issue. Never an issue.
He's an extraordinarily gifted fighter.
Yeah.
One, he's one in a generation. He's a generational fighter.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I never had an issue with him, and I had an opportunity, on a number of occasions to go to the gym and work him and work his sparring. And the only
Yeah.
thing that I can tell you about him is that if you happen to go to the gym to work his sparring, you better be in shape because because Floyd will go 6-7 minute round, take 30, 45-second rest and be right back at it. So you better be in shape if you go in there to work with him.
Yeah.
But extraordinarily gifted young man, very refereeable, if that's a word. You know,
Right.
he, yeah, he's a professional in every sense of the word.
Right. One of our fans on the chat uh, uh, asked the question: does referees have to be licensed in every state? And the question to that is yes. If a
Mhm.
referee in California gets the call to referee a fight here in Nevada, he has to be licensed in Nevada. If it's if it's a title fight like the WBC or the WBA or the IBF, whatever the case may be, um, that sanctioning body will also license them so that they can have the opportunity to go. And that even happens internationally. I've
Yes.
done several fights in Japan, and in going to Japan, I will get a license there. They will give me a physical there when I arrive, so that everything is on board.
Mhm.
Um, and so, yeah, in my career, I had the opportunity to referee a fight in Dallas, Texas. Uh, Manny Pacquiao happened to be fighting a fighter there, and I was a member of the WBC. There was some WBC fights on the card, and I got the opportunity to referee in Dallas. So the different governing bodies work together and allowing us referees to do a bit of travel, which is great for our career.
Yeah. And we have another caller asked the question: who is the worst fighter for either of us to ever have officiated, and why? And for me, that would have been probably Burt Cooper, uh, because there's a rule that you have to have a fitted mouthpiece. And I was doing a fight, and it was in Los Angeles, and he uh, kept losing his mouthpiece. And I would warn him, and then I would tell him to put that mouthpiece in and bite down hard on it. And I think after about the fourth time, uh, I just gave up. He's one of the few fighters that I ever disqualified.
Right. Wow. Wow. And I for me, and it's happened more than once. Deducting a point from a fighter is the last thing that we hope that we have to do, but in some situations we have to. And when that happens, um, um, I I could say that could be one of the worst fights that I've referee, because taking and deducting a point is what we choose not to do. But at the same time, um, um, uh, in a fight, I had to take a point from both fighters. The fighter in the red corner had to take a point from. A fighter in the blue corner had to take a point from, and in doing that, uh, um, yeah,
Level the playing field.
exactly. Keep it at a
Yeah,
level playing field, but
yeah,
yeah, it can make it uh, 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 tough on us. It can. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Now another fighter, I believe Demario Goings. I believe that's his name, and he asked us, "Have we ever wrecked a fight with a fighter that had the ferocity of a Tyson?" And I'll let you answer that, Kenny.
Well, I don't see a fighter, or I haven't seen a fighter that has. When I was an inspector with the Nevada Commission, before Mike Tyson became, or actually, it was the night that he became the youngest heavyweight champ. And the fight was at the Las Vegas Hilton, and I was the inspector in his dressing room. And after we gloved him, after he was wrapped up, gloved up, Kevin Rooney put on a pair of mitts and was warming Mike Tyson up. And Kevin Rooney was giving him these cadence. I had never seen it in any dressing room. And he'd say, holding the mitts up, give me a 5, 5, 7, 8. And I'm standing there looking and says, what is he talking about? And Mike Tyson went into his stance and started, moving back and forth. Kevin held those gloves up, and Mike Tyson threw a 4-punch combination that swayed that single wide trailer we were in. It amazed me.
Yeah.
It amazed me that single wide trailer was swaying from side to side from a combination that he threw. And I had never seen that since, and I don't think I ever will.
Well, for me, the only guy that was similarly as ferocious as Tyson was Big George Foreman.
Yeah,
I didn't do New George. I did Old George, and I remember going into the dressing room to give my instructions. And like I said, over my 40-some years, there's only one person that ever slightly, and made me really want to take a step back, and that was the Old George, right. Because Old George was a mean man, okay. And I remember during the fight, and the young man that he fought, he hit him with some punches that, I felt bad. I mean, I'm saying nobody should get hit like that. Right. Big George was that man, and he was like, I like to tell people, he was like my father. My father was what was called heavy-handed. Some guys got a lot of power, and you got some guys that are heavy-handed. And Big George was heavy-handed. He could put his hand on your shoulder and you dip down, Right. So a guy that probably fit that mold for me would have been Big George Foreman.
Yeah. I was I was in George Foreman's as an inspector again in his dressing room, and you just kind of stayed out his way. Mike Tyson was like a lion in a cage, and George Foreman was like a lion in a cage.
Yeah,
Soft-spoken, but a lion.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to encourage all you callers out there. If there's something that you want to ask us about, please call in.
Yes, we'd love to have your call. Yeah.
Okay, caller, you're on.
Caller?
Some of the best in the industry. But can you tell me what is it that really separates you guys from most referees? Because I follow you and I noticed that you really go into depth on different things. A lot of things I didn't know when I first got on, start following you guys about refereeing. But a lot of the rules and regulations really, have me looking at these fights differently, not just by my pocket, but based on a lot of other things. So what is it that you would say that's your main key to that?
Kenny, I'll let you go first.
Yeah. I would probably say the little things,
Yeah,
and and I say the little things because
yeah,
um, um, we we have to see things that the average person do not see. And I'm talking about a punch that's thrown borderline on if the punch is too high or too low, or if in the event their heads touch and there's a fighter's cut over the eye, was the cut caused by a punch or was the punch caused by a headbutt? And back in the day when I was working my way up,
you have
I
10 seconds.
yeah, I, I would do things to train my eye so I make the right call when that time came.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
for,
sometimes what I'm seeing and what it looks like is not really what I'm seeing.
well, you, what we have found as referees is that a great many of the fans out there, they watch the fight from a different perspective than we do. You know, they watch the fight based upon their heart and sometimes their pocketbook. And we can't do that. We have to do the fight and adjudicate the fight based upon the rules of boxing. And most people will tell you what's one of the things that I think separated me from some others is I'm rules driven. And the reason I say that is because the rules of boxing is what dictates the what we call the mechanics, the way that the things that we do to bring about compliance with the rules of boxing. And if you do that, then what you do is what is best for number one, the sport, what is best for the fighter, and what is best for the public. And that's our priority. Okay. The sport itself, the fighters, and then that public out there who deserve uh, a quality product for the money that they spend.
Very well said, Bird. Because again, we're independent contractors. We don't quit our day job. Our day job stays intact because the only time we work is when we get assigned, and when we get assigned, then we work. And you may not get assigned on every card. Our performance is just as important as the boxer's performance. There are five commissioners that are usually sitting ringside if they all happen to be in attendance, and they're looking at our performance just as much as looking at the fighter's performance. So, and that determines when we'll get assigned on our next fight card.
And the other part of that, Kenny, is that being a professional boxing referee is not a weekend job.
Right.
That's when most of the events occur, but that is not it's not a weekend job. And that is why we prepare just like the fighters prepare.
Right.
You know, we have to be in good physical condition.
Yep.
We have to constantly review the rules,
Yep.
and we got to go to the gyms and work the sparring because you practice the way you play. Okay, and
Yeah.
so we have to do all of those things, and that's behind the scenes. That's something that no one ever sees.
Yes.
That preparation, just like the boxers, who are out there, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, out there running those miles and back in the gym, hitting the bag and doing the calisthenics, all of those things that they do to prepare. Well, guess what? We do a lot of the same things because we got to go the same amount of rounds as fighters go.
Yes.
We got to go the same amount of rounds. Yeah, and we have to know the rules so that we can apply the rules at the right time in the right way for the right reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got another note from a fan that says that they're glad that we got this up and running, and believe me, we're glad we got it up and running. It's a first for me and Bird. I've never done a podcast. I've been on many a podcast, so I knew what a podcast was and what it took for the people on the other side to create and develop it. But I tip my hat to Bird because it was Bird. Was the one that brought me on board when the early discussions were talked about having a podcast. So, Mr. Bird, I thank you, my brother, and again, we thank the fans for those that called in, for those that sent a chat, and we hope that we'll continue to grow in what we do.
Yeah.
I'm
We
lucky.
want to, yeah. I thank you, Kenny. But most of all, I want to thank all those folks out there for watching the official call live today. We go live every Monday, and we encourage you, please, to stay in touch with us, stay intact with us, stay connected to us.